absolutely still, just as if it's like a statue. You become like a motionless mountain. There's even a small ripple in the body. This also creates a ripple at the level of the mind. And if there's even a ripple at the level of the mind, there comes a ripple in the body. They are absolutely inseparable, one and the same. There's no dividing line between this shore and the other shore, between this and the other. As you allow the body to remain motionless, feel all your energies crystallizing into the one simple act of sitting. You're sitting not just as a body, not just as a mind, not just with your emotions, but with your total, complete presence. And if you can just be totally involved in the simple act of sitting, just the simple act of sitting becomes an expression of your own Buddha nature. Allow yourself to sit not as an ego, not as an identity, not as a personality, just as a boundless space of pure consciousness. You're just remaining a witness. Bring your attention to the sensation of the body. What is it that's manufacturing suffering within you? And what is it that can bring you to sharper and deeper levels of clarity? So this whole attitude of Vipassana is not to control the mind. You let the mind flow absolutely freely. And that's how the mind functions in daily living. You cannot continue focusing on the breath for 24 hours or focusing on the mantra for 24 hours. You cannot keep your attention focused on one point for 24 hours. How will you be able to live an ordinary life? So here with Vipassana, the field of your awareness covers a very wide range. The simplest way to start is first observing the activities of the body. When you're walking, be attentive. Be sensitive to detail and don't let a single action be excluded from your meditation. Lying down, lie down, but lie down with your whole consciousness. Or just preparing food in the kitchen, taking care of the gardens, or just simply sitting silently. The posture of the body is not relevant. That's just superficial, it's secondary. What is essential is that whatever the posture of the body, you integrate your awareness in the present moment. And this is the master key that remains throughout meditation from its beginning to its end, remaining a witnessing consciousness. Simplest place to start, the foundation, is to start by witnessing the body. The body is a lot easier to witness than your thoughts, your emotions, the millions of perceptions that are coming and going in the mind. Those are all much more subtle, but the body is gross, it's physical. It's very much a vivid part of your experience. You can sense it, you can touch it. The easiest place to start witnessing is that which is the easiest to witness, which is the body. As you witness the body, if thoughts start arising in exactly the same way, with the same meditative quality, just observing without judgment. There's a dimension within you which is beyond those thoughts, an intelligence within you which is beyond those thoughts. Remain in communion with that intelligence. The moment you jump into judgment, into saying this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is pleasant, this is unpleasant, I like this, I don't like this. If there's even a ripple of discrimination, a ripple of preference for or against, now your whole meditation has come to an end. You lose all clarity of vision. Perhaps you'll find your emotions arising again, the same meditative quality. So with Vipassana, we're being aware of several levels from moment to moment. One, the body, the activities of your thought processes, your feelings, your emotions, and your perceptions. And you're not systematically moving from one to the other to the other. This is not a mechanical technique. This is spontaneous. Allow the river current of your awareness to run, and the more the mind comes to a stillness, you also find the boundaries of the mind simply evaporating. And your consciousness has become boundless as the whole universe. So now for a few minutes, we will continue sitting and practicing Vipassana. Or you try to meditate. It's as if you're standing there with a sword in your hands, striking the water of the lake and trying to see your own reflection. Meditation is a natural settling down of the activity of the mind. A certain silence which happens by itself. That's why in Zen they said, sitting silently, doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself. Be awake, as if this is the first and your last moment. And this is always your first and last moment. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist. At any moment in your life, in the inescapable now. The present moment is inescapable. It comes one moment at a time, yes, one moment after the other moment, a series of present moments, a downward spiral of present moments. But always it remains the present moment. And outside of this immediacy, nothing else exists. Sensitive to detail, what is actually happening in your experience? The more we gather insight into the activity of the mind, is the more and more freedom that is born out of that insight. Insight is like alchemy, it's like a certain medicine. It naturally transforms. Nothing can be touched by insight without being transformed by it. Vipassana is an inner experiment to bring more insight to the workings of your own mind. One thing that will start growing in you, which is not a logical realization, but an intuitive realization, is that nothing that happens in your experience is permanent. everything's impermanent. The flux is continuous. One of the reasons why we suffer is because we're grasping onto so many things, pretending as if they are permanent, when they are just as fragile as shifting suns. This realization of the impermanence of things has to strike so deeply. It's not a teaching. You have to become the teaching. It cannot be separate from your being. If it's separate from your being, then this has not become mature. It has to become part and parcel, like your very blood. Very bloodstream, that nothing in existence is permanent. And that realization has to penetrate so deep that it's not even a shred of doubt